It's a horrific situation. California should not have provided this person the driver's license and a permit, not just for a car, but to drive large-scale trucks, to then drive into Florida, engage in this dangerous behavior and take the lives of 3 others is really a tragedy, but it shows how dangerous the open border policies under Obama and Biden have been that have continued to wreak havoc on communities across the country.
Tragedy on a Florida turnpike. Terrifying video shows an illegal immigrant from India, a truck driver, allegedly making a reckless U-turn that caused a crash, killing 3 people. That driver now facing potential deportation. Joining us now to talk all about this, Fox News contributor Katie Pavlich. Katie, great to see you.
Good morning.
So, got a little bit of background on this guy from DHS this morning. Crossed the California border illegally, 2018. Border Patrol arrested him. He claimed fear of going back to India, and he was released on a $5,000 immigration bond. At some point, the state of California gave him a commercial truck driver's license. DHS is now blasting that. They gave us a statement which says in part, quote, 3 innocent people were killed in Florida because Gavin Newsom's California DMV issued an illegal alien a commercial driver's license. This state of governance is asinine. How many more innocent people have to die before Gavin Newsom stops playing games with the safety of the American public? Your thoughts?
Well, first, just watching that video and the way the driver didn't really react to this horrific thing that had just happened. He kind of just sat there, and then when he got out of the truck, he did the same thing. There was little emotion about what just happened. Absolutely horrific video. This just goes to show that sanctuary state policies affect every state around the country. This guy was given a commercial driver's license as an illegal alien without legal status in California. He then drove this truck to Florida, took the lives of 3 people with this reckless U-turn that we all just saw. And this is a magnet when you see governments, state governments, California, Illinois, New York, for example, giving out licenses or commercial licenses for people to go work in other states across the country, driving across state lines. It's a magnet for illegal immigration to go into the country, which is why the president now nationally has tried to remove the sanctuary status through DOJ, through punishment for these cities and these jurisdictions, because it doesn't just affect California. If you want these people to drive in California, that's one thing, but clearly they can drive across the country, and now we have this horrific situation thousands of miles away as a result of California's sanctuary policies, which have consequences for a lot of different people.
The Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles said this: Harinder Singh is in custody on state vehicular homicide charges and immigration violations. He will no longer be able to damage and destroy the lives of Floridians and visitors. At the conclusion of his state charges, he will be deported. And so you wonder, is he going to serve time for this and then be deported?
In Florida, yeah. So this actually highlights the relationship between the Florida law enforcement, local law enforcement, and the federal law enforcement, which is not the case in California. California doesn't honor ICE detainers. They don't honor the partnership, even on very horrific cases similar to this. They don't want to work with the federal government out of their principles of not working with ICE. So in Florida, the government has a partnership with the federal government to not only deport people, but also to arrest them and work with them to keep them in custody so that ICE can come in easily and manage that through jails, not going into communities and doing raids like you had to see in California. Exactly.
I want to touch
keeping them in prison so they're not hurting other people.
Yeah, I've been texting with Florida officials who say they plan on holding him for a long time before ICE ever gets their hands on him. Want to touch again on what you said off the top. If we can re-rack that video of the crash, it's really hard to watch, right? I mean, you see that car just go right into the side of the truck, 3 people instantly killed. But look, as you mentioned, not a drop of emotion on his face, nothing. It's just blank. I mean, 3 people are dead and there's nothing there.
Yeah, I mean, I can't get inside his head, but I have to assume that he hasn't had many consequences for breaking the law in the United States up to this point. So maybe he doesn't have a lot of emotion when it comes to this horrific situation. But as you just mentioned, Florida law enforcement has charged him with a number of crimes. They will, work with him through their legal system, and then the federal government will take over, and he will be deported.
Yeah.
One other question for you, a different topic, okay? Eric Swalwell, congressman, he was on CNN on Saturday, and he had thoughts about Michelle Obama's famous line of when they go low, we go high. He wants it replaced. Watch.
In the earlier Obama years, there was the, of course, old adage that at this point is old, when they go high, or when they go low, we go high, to use that metaphor. Do you have any concern that this could overreach or could backfire?
No. When they go low, we're going to bury them below the Capitol. Right now, as you see, D.C. has been militarized, and we were weak as Democrats. Either we're on our heels, and the most vulnerable are on their heels reacting to Donald Trump, or he's on his heels reacting to us.
I guess this is part of their fight, fight, fight mode. It rings very hollow, but also sounds dangerous.
It sounds dangerous. And again, you have Democrats like Eric Swalwell fighting on these issues like they don't want to clean up Washington, D.C. I mean, 91% of people who live there say crime is a problem, and yet they're
Including
making
their
this,
staff.
Including their staff, including them if they were honest. They can't, walk around Capitol Hill, especially after hours when you're working late in a job like that, feeling comfortable or being safe where they're working and living. But if Democrats are going to continue to fight on these issues that are not only just 80-20, but the majority of Americans have common sense on, they really aren't going to be winning any political battles in the future. They keep doubling down on things that they should be working with the Trump administration on, but they refuse to for the sake of politics and ideology. It's quite astonishing to watch.
James Comey says they got to take a softer approach. We'll have more on that in a little
Yeah,
bit.
more on that. I'm not sure if that's going to work either. All right, Katie Pavlich, thank you.
see
See
you
you on the
soon.
5.
Yeah, see you on
Okay,
the 5.
great.
Thanks, guys.
Excellent.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.